Okay, our next video here is naming hydrocarbons part 2, multiple branches. So we've done alkanes with straight chains. We've done alkanes with one branch. Now, what happens if there's multiple branches coming off? So in this example that I have here, you can see that my longest chain of carbon is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now I could count this 6 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Doesn't actually matter in this particular case, but we're just going to keep it with this chain here. Now, I want my branches to be attached to the lowest number of carbon possible. So I could either have 1, 2, 3 and have a branch off of that, or 1, 2. So I'm going to start my counting of carbons this way. So I have carbon 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So you can see that's how my carbons are lined up. And like we said before, these are 6 carbons. There are no double or triple bonds, so this is an alkane in the base branch here, the base chain, excuse me. So this is hexane to start. And so I have hexane, but now I have to worry about these branches. Well, this has 1 carbon and this has 2. Okay, so I have a methyl group, the meth for 1, and an ethyl group here, eth for 2. The methyl group is attached to the 2nd carbon. The ethyl group is attached to the 4th carbon. So how do I write this out with both a methyl and an ethyl group? Well, it's actually pretty simple. We just go alphabetical order. So this ends up being 4 ethyl, E before M, 2 methyl hexane. So when I write it out, I end up with 4 ethyl, 2 methyl hexane. So 4 ethyl, 2 methyl hexane. Seems complicated, but if you take it step by step, it's really not so bad. Identify your main chain. Okay, name that one. Then just look for your branches and put your branches in alphabetical order. So here I have another one. I wrote this one vertically just to give a little bit different perspective here. I have 2 methyl groups in this case. So what do I do if I have 2 methyl groups? Well, first things first is I need to take a look at where, well, first off, what's my main chain? So if I count my main chain, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 carbons in my main chain. But how should I count them? Should I go from top to bottom or bottom to top? Well, I want my branches to have the lowest possible number. So if I go from the top, that'd be 1, 2, 3, and then I have a branch. 4, and then I have a branch. So if I go from the bottom, that's 1, 2, and I have a branch. 3, and I have a branch. Those smaller numbers, that's the way we're going to want to go. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we know that that's pentane. Okay, that's pentane. Okay. Now I have these 2 methyl groups. I have 1 carbon here and 1 carbon here, small chains, but they're the same chain. So unlike before where I wrote 4 ethyl 2 methyl hexane, now I'm going to have to add in another prefix. So this is still going to end up being methyl pentane. It's going to be 2, 3 methyl pentane, but it's not just methyl. So I have 2, 3, because I have a methyl here and a methyl here, but it's going to be dimethyl. The di meaning 2, because I have 1 here and 1 here. So dimethyl pentane. So 2, 3 dimethyl pentane. I know these ones are much more complicated. The Regents doesn't really show these very often, but since we have a lot of time and we have a lot of different things to learn, we might as well get into some more complex things. Organic chemistry is something that we can get really, really complex with. This is still considered very basic for organic chemistry, but something I think that you guys can certainly handle. So let's do some practice with those.